Good morning. So it is Tuesday and it is actually pretty chilly outside. It's only 62 degrees, but it is super windy. I had to drop Mason off this morning because Bryce has to go into work early, so I was going to let him sleep a little bit longer. I plan to go to the gym right before he gets ready to go to work, so hopefully that works out the way that we planned it to, because today I want to go get Luca's 2-month shots, which if you guys have seen my 2-month update with Mason, I was such a new mom and I had no idea that you can give them medicine before that. So I kind of just like dealt with it raw, I guess is how I'd say it. I did dose Luca up with some Tylenol before we left the house because I do want to go straight there, get it done, and then head back to the house and hang out until I can go to the gym. Just had to make a pit stop at Family Mart. I haven't been able to stop at one of these convenience stores in a while just because I don't leave base as often as I used to when I was dropping off Mason. Excited because it's strawberry season and I wanted to try one of these strawberry cream sandwich. I've had other fruits in the sandwich, but with it being strawberry season, you have to try the strawberry stuff. They have so many strawberry snacks, but I just got the strawberry sandwich and then I got a ham, cheese, and egg sandwich. Got my coffee because I am running off of like maybe 16 hours of sleep in the last 4 days. I will go all into that later, but I have to get him to the clinic before he gets real upset. So I will see you guys later. What a morning it has been. Mason was dropped off at school. Luca got his 2-month shots. He is now at home with dad, and I'm about to head to the gym finally. Today is a full body push day. I only have 2 days a week that I dedicate to the gym these days. I split my days into full body push and then full body pull, whereas when I was pregnant and going 3 times a week, I was doing upper body push, upper body pull, and then leg day. I just found that going 3 times a week was a little bit too much for me right now. Really hoping I can get back to that, but I really want to get into a habit of doing at least 1 or 2 at-home workouts per week. I'll wear an Apple Watch every day, and I have been noticing that my activity rings have been getting closed even on days that I don't work out because I just stay so busy and I'm constantly hitting like 10,000 to 12,000 steps a day, even if I'm just at the house, like not out and about doing things. And that is just crazy to me that I stay that busy so often, but it explains why I feel so exhausted by like 5 o'clock. I just feel like I'm trying to keep up with the Joneses some of the times, and this is something that I kind of touched on in my last video, which was my How to Be a Better Parent in 2023 video. If you have not seen it, I will link it up here. But yeah, I feel like I am just nonstop go, go, go. And I do my best to give myself enough relaxation time, but there's really only so much you can do when you have a newborn and almost 2-year-old. Anyway, I will catch you guys after the gym. It has been a few days since the beginning of the vlog because this week has ended up being way busier than anticipated. There was just so many things on my to-do list that I just had to take care of, or at least get into motion. Let me just fill you in on what's going on. At the beginning of this vlog, I was talking about how I have not been sleeping very well, or I had not been sleeping very well. And that was due to the fact that my children were not sleeping themselves. So Luca this week has been leaping. He's going through his 2nd leap, which if you guys are not familiar with leaps, the way I understand it is basically just like a drastic brain landscape change. He just wakes up to the world a little bit more. Things look different, things feel different, and it's kind of uncomfortable for them because they're so unfamiliar to these things. They tend to be more clingy, more cranky, and they cry a lot more. That has been the case. That was the case with Mason when he went through all of his leaps. Homeboy has not been sleeping as much as he was, which has been, you know, fine, except that Mason is also going through his 2-year sleep regression, which I totally forgot was going to happen because that man is going to be 2 years old tomorrow. So bittersweet. He has been waking up at like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. and wanting to stay up for a couple of hours overnight. And then he's also like fighting his day nap, which is also something I forgot was going to happen. He's basically just been overtired, extra cranky. It's just been a whole thing. So I've been having to navigate that for the past like week or so. The past couple of nights though, I have been able to get a little bit more sleep, thank goodness. But over the weekend, I don't know what it was, but literally got like maybe 16 hours of sleep in 4 days. Just an update on Luca's shots. He did so well. I am really glad that I gave him Tylenol beforehand because I did not experience the same things that I did with Mason. Of course, there's always the risk of him being allergic to something in the vaccines or him just having like a negative reaction to them. Thank goodness none of that happened, and his body took it better than Mason's did, and I assume that is because I did give him Tylenol to try to avoid his body going into a feverish state like Mason's did, which was super scary because that was the first fever he ever had, and I knew it was induced because he just got shots. I remember freaking out and being like really scared. Anxiety was really high with Mason. So again, I'm really glad that I gave Luca the Tylenol before we went because he was also a lot less cranky than Mason was. I think that that's because he was a little bit more comfortable. So I definitely recommend giving them some type of fever reducer and painkiller. Ask your doctor what the dosage should be, but do that before you give your baby shots because that was a lifesaver on my end. And then also it's just been a busy week because Luca is 2 months old and he still does not have a social security number. We just got his birth certificate in the mail, which we applied for sometime in mid-December, I believe. Having a child overseas and naturalizing them for the States without them being born in the States has been quite the process. If somebody would have told me this, I don't know if I would have been able to do anything different, but it's just, you know, something good to know, I guess. When he was born, we applied for his birth certificate, which is not like a birth certificate you get in the States. It's like a certificate of birth registration abroad or something like that. We've been waiting on that to come into the mail. And then we also had the opportunity to buy a normal citizen passport. I don't know what those are called, leisure passports, but nobody else has one. So we were like, we're not going to do that because he doesn't need it. Like he's not going to use it because we are military and we are on military orders. We get a no fee government passport. I have been trying to hunt down how to apply for that. I've contacted the passport office. I've contacted the ID office. I've contacted the birth registration office, and nobody's given me an answer yet on how to apply for that. And of course, you have to have 2 forms of ID to apply for a social security number. So I have his birth certificate, which just arrived on island and in my hand. And then I have no idea what I need for his passport. So I'm waiting on that, and I am unable to apply for his social security number until that is resolved. So I've been like running around like a chicken with my head cut off kind of thing, trying to figure out how to apply for his passport so that way we can get that going. From what I'm understanding, you have to mail official documents to Tokyo, and then in Tokyo they apply for the social security number for you, and then it gets shipped to you. So I'm like, okay, this is gonna be another 6 to 8 week ordeal after I get the passport. We're looking at like April, May time, if that, of getting a social security number, which means we can't file our taxes until then, which is fine, except all of this is taking so long. So I'm dealing with that on top of having the littlest bit of sleep I feel like is normal for me. And then also I am preparing for my postpartum appointment, which is scheduled for next Wednesday. And because I did not get to go to my 6-week appointment, I did not have the opportunity to discuss having my tubes tied once again, which is when I decided I would be bringing it back up because I discussed it at my 38-week checkup, I believe it was. And I decided to wait until at least my 6-week point to have it scheduled and to possibly get it done, because the OB was telling me that if I were to get it done at labor and delivery, everything's like still stretched out and not in its normal place. So it might be more difficult to perform the procedure. I was like, no, I don't want to take any chances, and I don't want to go under more than once because I do want to breastfeed. And that is my biggest concern right now, is that if I do get this done, how will it affect my breast milk supply? Because my supply dropped dramatically when we moved overseas, which is a totally different situation. But if my body has already reacted to something like that and my supply was immediately affected, I don't want that to happen again because I do want to breastfeed for as long as possible. So that's my biggest concern when it comes to getting my tubes tied. Hopefully that happens sooner than later, because I do not want to get back on hormonal birth control. That is like the very last resort. That is just not even an option to me in my mind. My husband knows I will not go back on hormonal birth control because there are so many things that could happen to me and to my body. So I'm not in that mindset to do that. I'm not in the mindset to volunteer to do that. Our solution is to just sterilize ourselves, I guess. Anyways, with tomorrow being Mason's birthday, we do have plans to go to this place in Naha to hang out with some of his friends and have cakes and stuff like that. Last year we didn't do a party because he was 1 and we just wanted to go hang out at a friend's house, kept it really low key. But this year, since he is turning 2 years old, we wanted to do something a little bit more exciting because he is more grown up now. But yeah, I just wanted to update you guys on what was going on, why this week has been so crazy, and I'm hoping that there are more chill and relaxing days in the future because mommy needs them. I have to go make myself some lunch before the baby wakes up because he is still super grumpy and super clingy, which I don't mind, but being as busy as I have been, it is what it is. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up, give it a like, because it really supports my channel. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a video from me, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.